There's over 60 maps in TDS, ranging from easy to not so easy.
Oh, we are so dead.
And today, I'm going to be beating every single one to see which one is the best. And by the end of the video, I'm going to be buying a golden crate. And hopefully this time, I actually get something good. The first map we played was none other than Honey Valley. Probably the easiest map in the game. And with 4 people, it was an absolute breeze. Oh, let's go. Now, I haven't mentioned it yet, but I'm going to be ranking each map on this tier list I made based on how easy it is and how good it looks. And I think Honey Valley is an easy A tier. The next map I played was Grass Isle, and besides some interesting tower placements...
Watch this, it's time to spawn my knees. I need to know that, so...
Why'd you place it back there?
It was very easy, and it's iconic, which is why this map is an easy S tier. Next was Happy Homes or Robloxia, and let's just say this did not go so smoothly. This isn't looking too good.
This is looking just fine.
Oh wait, no, I'm dead. I literally spent 4 hours trying to beat this stupid map until I brought my friend Seabad. How are we surviving with this little towers place?
I'm telling you, military base is goated. Oh, okay, we might be dead.
Are we? Please, please, tank. A tank.
No! We killed it right before it went in!
Look at him still running! Bro, just die already. Oh my gosh, that actually took me so long. Happy Home or Robloxia, more like Stupid Homes or Robloxia. This might be my new least favorite TDS map, D tier. Next was Harbor, and it was a nice break from Happy Homes or Robloxia. And besides an interesting early game, yo, there's absolutely no way that we just died on Harbor.
I kinda saw all my farms get a gesture, like, I had a section on there.
Why would you? But even with this unfortunate start, we still managed to clear the boss. A tier. Next was Iceville, and it was pretty average, and it had an average difficulty, so it gets an average rating. Moving on to Marshlands, I think this map is very underrated. It looks nice, and it's a very long map, which came in handy a few times. Because when all the zombies would run by, we would have a ton of extra room to kill them. I like this map, so it's getting an A tier. Moving on to Meltdown, this map took us 2 attempts because on the first one, I brought Accelerator, and I completely forgot that Accelerator is Dookie now. XLs are so bad. Oh, and not to mention, I went AFK in the first part, which might have been why we lost. So, on the second time, I brought Military Base instead, and that seemed to do the trick. Let's go. This map was nothing special, C tier. Next was Necropolis, and we had 4 people here, so it went how you would expect. I also think this map looks pretty cool, and it reminds me of Little Wastelands, A tier. Now here's where things took a turn on Portland, because Seabad had just got the Gatling gun, and this was super OP, because we could target all the zombies that leaked, and it absolutely melted the boss. What the heck?
At 476,000 damage.
This map was alright, B tier. We also used the Gatling gun on Toyboard, which was an easy win.
Okay, we're done.
B tier. And with that, the easy maps were done. Now moving on to normal maps, first of which was Abandoned City. Now, our towers were a bit different on this game because I brought Sledger and Warden, while Seabot brought Chiromancer and Electroshocker, all of which have great stunning capabilities, which is why we won. But the map was nothing special, C tier. Next was Area 52, and to pay homage to Area 51 back in 2020, I brought Commando, the rarest tower in the game. Not to flex. However, this tower is, it's pretty bad. Oh no. Oh no. Don't worry, bro, my Commando has 4 DPS. Oh yeah, you go, Commando. So we unfortunately had to replace Commando. And after this sacrifice, we were able to beat it. Now, this may be from nostalgia, but I'm giving this an A tier. Actually, you know what? I'm giving this the highest A tier. Number 13 was Autumn Falling, and there's literally nothing to say about this game, because the whole time it sounded like this. However, I still quite like this map, so it's getting an A tier. Next was Cataclysm, and this is when Seabad got the Brawler Tower, and we were kind of just experimenting with it. What the?
I can move him around, okay.
And later we realized that this tower is super good. Like, TDS needs to add some bad towers into the game because this is just not fair. Anyways, this map is a better Iceville, so it gets a B tier. Now I wanted to switch things up for Crossroads, so I used a squad matchmaking feature, or should I say trio, because one of my teammates left on like the second round. Oh no, someone just left. And one of my teammates had Gatling gun, and I just knew that we'd win from that. Now Crossroads is an absolutely iconic map, and I've played way too many hours of hardcore on it, so obviously this is getting an S tier. Alright, so for these next few maps, they were pretty boring, so I'm gonna go fast. Crystal Caves, this map is beautiful, S tier. Cyber City, B tier. Deserted Village, A tier. Forest Camp gets a B tier, and Forest Season gets an A tier. Now, moving on to the best map in the game, Fungi Island. Now, I was gonna do Hit and Wait for this map, but we spent like 8 hours on it. If I ever wanted to post this video, I was just gonna have to skip it. Even with the best towers in the game, it was so difficult. So we unfortunately had to give up on it. Oh my goodness. Still, it is the best map in TDS, so obviously this is getting an S tier. Now moving on to a map that wasn't as good, Medieval Times. I played this one with a friend who hasn't played TDS in a while, and introducing him to the new stuff.
Why the frick is there different tracks?
There was nothing much to talk about. And that was actually a complete lie, because this is the game where I got Gatling gun, and it is super nice. This map gets a B tier. Moving on to Moonbase. This map was kind of weird, considering the only place you could put down rangers was this little area right here. Also, this Fallen Squire somehow survived every single element we threw at it. We also forgot to bring DJ. Can you play DJ?
I forgot to bring DJ.
So the odds were not in our favor. However, that didn't stop us from killing the boss. This map gets a B tier. Now, this next map was, it was a little bit special because it's construction crazy, which for some reason you cannot find in the map selector, which means you have to find it in its natural habitat. And I think I've only ever played this map once, and that's for good reason, because there's like nowhere to place your towers on this map. And I had to place my Gatling gun in the most awkward position. It took us 2 attempts to beat it, but I kind of like this map for some reasons. I'm gonna give it a B tier. I then got a very satisfying placement with Gatling gun on Nether, because all the zombies lined up for the piercing. And to no one's surprise, it was pretty easy, B tier. Moving on to a map that was surprisingly hard was Retro Zone. Seabad also went AFK, and he came back right as we were about to leak this Fallen Shield. Oh no. Do something. Oh my gosh, you came back on the perfect round. This map is super cool looking, but it's kind of hard, so I'll give it an A tier. Moving on to Rocket Arena, this map is supposed to be really easy, but for some reason I just kept dying, and it was 100% my fault. Like in this game, where I had a level 4 Gatling gun, we died, and then we restarted with a revive ticket, and then I bought a level 5 Gatling gun, and then I sold it, and I placed it in this wall, and I'm
in the building, I can't see anything.
at level 4, and I went, oh, that's bad. So I sold it again, and I got a level 2 Gatling gun. I really went from riches to rags there. But we did eventually beat it, and I'm giving this map a B tier. Simplicity was alright, but it reminded me of Happy Arms or Robloxia, and I didn't like that, so it's getting a C tier. Continuing the mid maps, Spring Fever also gets a C tier. Stain Temple was next, and I really like how this map looks. It just feels so ominous. And for that reason, I'm gonna give this map an S tier. Next was Sugar Rush, and this map was so boring, so I'm gonna give it a C tier. The Heavens was a nice break from these boring maps because it had a simple yet nice look to it. And all I can remember about this map was how people would speedrun it in the old Fallen with Gladiator. It also has a really easy layout, so I'm gonna give this map an A tier. Moving on to the heights, except as you can see, this is not the heights, and that's because I forgot to record it, so just imagine me being it here. This map was kind of hard, so I'm gonna give it a B tier. Number 34 was Tropical Industries, and this map I actually did record, and my friend just spammed down minigunners while I was focusing on Gatling gun, which made for a pretty easy win. Also, the Fallen King was in my Gatling gun, which I thought was pretty cool.
Well, the Fallen King is in my way.
I'd give this map like a B tier. Keeping with the tropical theme, it's tropical isles, and my Gatling gun was lined up with this long straight path, so I was pretty much hogging all the kills. The only other tower that were getting kills were Seabad's Rangers, that also had the propeller skin on. Speaking of propellers, this video idea actually came from him, so big shout out to him. You know, helping out the smaller creators is what I do. I'll give this map a B tier. The next map is U-Turn, and I swear this is the only map that solo Fallen strat videos ever use, so obviously it was a free win. A tier. We had no problem beating winter bridges. B tier. And this finally concludes the normal maps. Now, I was moving on to the hard maps, and like the name suggests, these maps were not going to be as easy. The first of the hard maps is Abyssal Trench. And this is another map where you can't find in the map selector, so I had to go into an elevator to get it. And then this random guy joined me. However, my loadout was built for solo Fallen, which means I had no farms on this, which was not good for duo. However, my teammate had farmed, but instead of farming, he placed a line of Crook bosses, and that unfortunately was not enough to keep us alive, and we unfortunately died. And after about 5 centuries of waiting for the next Abyssal Trench to spawn, I finally got into it, and I took down the Fallen King. This map feels vintage, so I'm gonna give it a B tier. Moving on to Atlas Coliseum, this map looks cool. It's just very hard to see the Ranger Tower because of how white the sand is, and also this Commander sound was starting to get annoying. This map is kinda hard, but I'm gonna give it an A tier. Next was Candy Valley, and this was the first double lane map I played. However, it was just the normal amount of zombies split on the 2 path, and it's like the easiest double lane map in the game, which led us to victory. This map is weird, but at least it's better than Sugar Rush, so I'll give it a B tier. Another B tier map is Chessboard. Now, the first actually difficult map was Dusty Bridges, because of its limited places where you can put towers down. Where do you farm?
There's literally nowhere to.
Just look at my mortar's range here. Absolutely atrocious. Just like the map.
This is in fact not sick.
I gotta give this one a C tier. Next was Enchanted Forest, and this map was way too difficult. It was the first actually dual lane map with twice the amount of zombies, and we knew that the early game would be the most difficult part. But even with using like all of our abilities, we couldn't even manage to get to wave 40. And I'd already spent about like an hour and a half on this map, and this isn't even close to the hardest map. So I made the executive decision to just do it on intermediate. I know. But if I ever wanted to post this video before Halloween event, I need to get it over with. Now I would like to give this map a C tier, but it actually does look quite nice, so I'll give it a B tier. Moving on to Farmlands, this map is pretty easy, and I don't even know how it's in the same difficulty category as Enchanted Forest or Dusty Bridges. I'll give this map a B tier. Alright, the next few maps I'm gonna go pretty fast on. We're going Docks. I feel like most people forget about this map. You see the joke there? No, but I actually really like this map, and it's super underrated. So that's why I'm gonna give it an S tier. Yep. Night Station was alright, I'll give it a B tier. Ruby Escort was about the reddest map I've ever seen, so I'll give it a B tier. Sky Islands was alright, but I swear I've already played this map in this video, so I'm gonna have to give it another B tier. Winter Abyss had horrible placements. This map sucks. There's nowhere to place anything. C tier. Wreck Battlefield is another famously easy hardcore map, except we actually died the first time on this map, and I'm gonna blame it on Seabad's Molotov right here.
My goodness!
What is that? I'm gonna give this map an A tier. Now you wouldn't believe it, but Wrecked Battlefield 2 is next, and this was somehow easier than the first one, which is saying something. A tier. Moving on to Black Spot Exchange, I had to go AFK halfway through this game, which means I left Seabad to do this on his own, which turned out to be a good strategy. I don't really like this map. It's kind of weird, so I'm gonna give it a C tier. Dead Ahead has a nice look to it. But it's quite a short map, and there's not really any good spots to place your towers. Its looks carry it into a B tier. Moving on to the hardest map in TDS, Derelict Outpost, and to make it even more of a challenge, I was soloing it on intermediate, of course, because Fallen is impossible. Okay, so I first tried placing my DPS on each part of the path, and that didn't do so well. And I decided it would be better if I could place all my towers in the back, where each of them could reach all the paths. But unfortunately, I died. But this was still further than my first attempt, so I decided to try once more. And this time, I actually did really good. My strategy would be to place a ton of cowboys. With 3 times the amount of zombies, I could get a lot more money with cowboy. After this, I would start to get my XLs and mortars down. The mortars have great crowd control and range, while XLs have a lot of DPS. This was good because there were a ton of times where I thought I was dead. Oh my gosh, I'm alive. After all of this, I would get my rangers down for even more DPS. And as wave 30 neared, I expected 3 bosses because that's what I saw in a video. However, only 1 measly boss spawned, and obviously with all this crazy DPS, it might have been the most depressing boss fight. This map is awesome if you want a challenge, and it's the only thing that's even hard in TDS anymore, so I'm gonna give this map an A tier. Gilded Path was alright, B tier. Now, Infernal Abyss is pretty fun if you know what you're doing, so I'm gonna give it an A tier. Lay-by is the opposite of U-turn because it's not easy and it has no turns. C tier. Mason Arc is a nice B tier map. Next was Moose Saint's Kingdom, and I definitely did not say that right. Anyways, I tried the new time scale, and I played the whole thing in 2x speed, including the boss. This is my absolute favorite dual lane map. It looks super cool, which is why I'm getting it an S tier. Next was Sacred Mountains, and I quite like the scenery on this map. And Seabad might have brought the best commander skin in the game. It even spawned Little America vehicles, and unlike all the other ones, this time it actually wasn't that easy because of the limited placements. But you know, I still did it. I really like this map. I'm gonna give it an A tier. Space City is the second to last map, and it's a fake double lane, only spawning the regular amount of zombies. B tier. The last map was Ruiner Stronghold, and I cannot tell you how ready I was to finish this challenge. Our strategy was very simple. Since there were 2 lanes, but they were very separated, I could take 1 lane and Seabat could take 1 lane. The boss spawned on my side, and we got the win. Finally! However, that doesn't stop me from not liking this map. C tier. And with that is all 62 maps completed in TDS. Here's the completed tier list. Pause it if you want to see it. Now, before I open my golden crate, I want to go over what I think the best maps in each category are. And now the worst map. Alright, so we got Golden Cowboy and we got Golden Crook Boss. I want Pyro. I'm gonna be honest, I want Pyro. And I do not want Golden Scout because I already have good early game. It's not gonna be Scout. It's not gonna be Scout. Alright. Purchase? Yes, please. Alright, let's open this thing. Please do not give me Golden Scout. Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay.
Alright, that's actually good. Finally, I got a good tower. Alright, I'm pretty happy with the tower I got this time. A few things I'd like to say before it ends. I'm very sorry for not posting for like a year. That I just stopped playing TDS because I got burnt out of it. But I mean, I'm back and I'm hoping to make a video on the Halloween update. Big thanks to all these people, especially Seabad, because they helped me out in a ton of this video. Anyways, I'll see you guys like maybe next month, maybe next year. Who knows?